What's up, you guys? So we got a video here from Matt Walsh. I don't even know that much about Matt Walsh, but we're gonna dive straight into it. Let's see what's going on.
Is as clueless as she's ever been. She stands in the way of our very urgent mission, which is to dismantle left-wing terror cells, left-wing NGOs.
So it seems like right off the bat, the right they're turning on each other because they don't know how to do math, basic science, and so everyone's just talking out of their heart. Now you're attacking this person, whatever. And then they said dismantle left wing NGOs. I haven't heard anything about that. That's the main mission of the right now? Left leaning NGOs that threaten free speech? All right, let's see.
Threaten our fundamental right to freedom of speech. Pam Bondi is not that person.
It seems more like. Anyway, let's keep going.
That's why Trump has to cut her loose. I want to
Infighting.
talk about this. The assassination of Charlie Kirk was one of the most direct and consequential attacks on the freedom of speech in American history.
Yeah, I won't really disagree with that. I don't know if I would say it's necessarily an attack on freedom of speech, but because to me that would be like the government going after somebody. If if somebody independently, so if anybody who's a public speaker, if they get if they get assassinated, is that attack on free speech? It's not an institutional attack on free speech. Then I think it's kind of just a murder. But let's keep going.
Regardless of your political beliefs, that's undeniable. For Christians and conservatives in particular,
People love to just say stuff is undeniable.
the assassination was the latest and most horrifying of many, many recent efforts to undermine.
I'm Christian, and it definitely wasn't the most horrifying. No. It's going down. It's going down in the world, and unfortunately, people all over the world, a lot of people suffer persecution or just, war violence. A lot of it is religious based, but
Fundamental civil liberties. Christians have been arrested for praying peacefully outside of abortion clinics. They've been punished for refusing to bake cakes for gay weddings, for refusing to fund contraceptives for employees, and now, in a very public fashion, one of the most prominent Christian voices.
yeah. I think all that's interesting. I think also Christians have to look at, because I understand everyone wants to, I'm Christian as well. Everyone wants to make money, but it's a little bit tough to get into an industry and then complain about the industry that you're in. Uh, that's why you got to be strategic, you know what I mean? Because it's like anyone could say that at some point. And this is where Christians also have to become, realize what you're really saying, right? If you get to impose your beliefs on other people, then that's what everyone else is going to do. So if you don't want to do something, you need to remove yourself from that sector. Yes, that means you won't get certain jobs. I can't go work at MTV or somewhere else and be like, hey, what are you guys doing? Jesus first in here. It's not my business. It's not. I can't tell them what to do. So unfortunately, standing by your faith is going to come at a cost to you, and that's really what it means to stand by your faith and say, hey, okay, I'm not going to do this over here. Then I'm gonna go do this over here, and let's see how your thing works. If they don't need you, then maybe you were getting in the way. To be honest with you. Because was it about that or wasn't it?
In the country was gunned down for expressing his political views and his faith. Now, in the wake of Charlie's murder, I said something that I still believe is true. I still very much believe, which is that on the right, and only on the right, now is the time for unity.
Okay, another thing. There is no right and left. Human beings do not fall in the right or left. Ideas do. The left and right wing parties are there to curate ideas. The ideas are equally good in both parties, but we need both parties to discuss how the ideas are implemented. That's how we get good policy. As a human, you should never identify with a party. If you've done that, you've begun foolishness. Parties will change. They are entities of almost a mechanical nature. It has nothing to do with where your friends hang out or something like that. You know, if you're a Christian, be Christian. Be focused on Jesus. Don't be right. That doesn't mean anything. A conservative is not it's not a human identity.
And I say only on the right because that's the only place where there can be unity. There cannot be unity with the left. It is literally impossible.
See, the problem with this guy is he's setting up a situation to be polar that does not exist. Human beings do not exist like that. That's not true. You know, why does he do that? Because he makes his money off of it. He makes a lot of money because he can make you feel safe by making you afraid. And the best way to do that is to make you polar.
They want us dead. They want to kill us. And even if they did,
they want us dead. They want to kill us. Why wouldn't you be afraid after hearing that? Who wants you dead? First of all, there's no left either because that's not a real thing. Who? You have to be specific.
We have nothing in common in terms of our values and beliefs.
This guy's a bad guy. I don't call anyone bad lightly, but he's been persuaded to be bad. I'll say that. Maybe he's not bad.
Right. We have no common ground at all. None. We cannot agree on even what universe we live in. But on the right, there needs to be unity. We have to put aside any internal squabbling or vendettas that we might have on our own side, and we have to focus instead on crushing left-wing extremism, including the cult of trans ideology. We have to pursue the billionaires who fund this extremism, the NGOs that launder the billionaires' money, the doctors.
And then an erroneous point. All of you on the right need to focus on trans stuff. Everybody, you need to focus on that. What people don't understand is you don't know what's going on in someone else's life. If you want to be a real Christian, you know, it's a point of empathy, not a point of ego where you can say, I did this much change. It's saying, I'm going to put this much of myself on the line. Go find one person that you think has an issue and talk to them. Get to know them. If you don't have time for that, let me tell you, you only care about yourself. And Jesus is not going to come down and say, congratulations, yo, selfish person.
And hospitals that mutilate patients for ideological and financial reasons. This has to be a coordinated and focused effort. There's no room for any distraction or counter-signaling. It's not an easy task. Our opponents are extremely well-funded, very powerful. But if we cannot accomplish this, then very soon the right to freedom of speech will become a dead letter. If it's not already, the collapse of our constitutional order will follow.
This guy hasn't contributed nothing to nothing, but he wants you to make it seem like he's at the head of some sort of committee to do something. He hasn't done nothing but take your look at how much money he's making. He's not using it to. Anyway, let's keep going.
And therefore, a unified right is more important than it's ever been. If we're going to have any chance of victory.
Whew.
Now, at the same time, unity is impossible if some conservatives, particularly conservatives in positions of power, don't grasp the fundamental goals of our movement.
So anyway, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna watch some more videos, different people, and give you guys some deets and some breakdowns. What he's talking about, the worst part of it for the people who follow him is it's not gonna work because he has no science. People think political science, politics, is less scientific than other sciences. It's actually more scientific than other things. So you have to be intelligent. You have to be able to assess facts in order to succeed. I'm not talking about to be right. People think it matters if you're right in an argument. It doesn't matter if you're right in an argument because even more than other fields, what you do is going to get proven out. The next 10 years is going to be very fun to watch if you have a scientific mind. Because science never lies, no matter how much people do. And unfortunately, this guy, Matt Walsh, he's just a liar. He's a liar. He's a full-time liar. He's a full-time liar. And we'll talk about how more and more as we continue. But thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like and you subscribe, and drop a comment. If you disagree, I'll try to reply to as many comments as possible. Give me some videos to watch. Give me some evidence to watch. Let's break up the facts as we go. But this is your boy Kinyo here. Out. See ya.